More news that's breaking this minute. The Delhi police have ordered the suspension of cellular services in Delhi. Cellular services have been blocked till 1 p.m. Services were blocked in the walled city and Mandi House, Selampur, Jafrabad and Mustafabad, Jamia Nagar, Shaheen Bagh and Bhavana. Airtel, Vodafone Idea, Jio services remain suspended. All right, remember, in the light of the protests that are taking place in the national capital, we're looking at a suspension of the cellular services in the national capital, and this has been ordered by the Delhi police to the cellular networks. Now, this includes Airtel, Vodafone Idea, Jio services have all been suspended. Now, the Delhi police, they're ordering the suspension of cellular services in several parts of Delhi. It includes Mandi House, Selampur, Jafrabad and many other areas. Let me go across to my colleague Priyank Tripathi joining us with those updates here. So, Priyank, in the light of the protests that are taking place across the national capital, cellular services are right now being suspended, and this is on the order of the Delhi police. Can you give us an update of what the circular of the Delhi police says?
The circular was regarding, shutting down few of the towers near these specific areas you rightly mentioned. The time period was from 9 a.m. in the morning till 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And since it's already 20 minutes past 1 p.m., most of these areas are, having normal cellular networks. Initially, the cellular network of Bharti Airtel was stopped. Vodafone services were, pretty normal. But now, 1 p.m. has already passed. The services are being restored.
All right, we'll have to leave it there, Priyank. Many thanks for joining us with those updates. Let me also get in a quick update coming in. My colleague Viren joining us from the Newspit, getting us those updates. So, Viren, in the light of the protests that are seeing in the national capital, cellular services have now been suspended, and this on the order of the Delhi police.
Well, that's right, and this is in fact signed by the Deputy Commissioner of Police of the Special Cell of Delhi, P.S. Kushwaha, in fact, who says in his note he's written to Bharti Airtel, to Vodafone Idea, to Jio, to MTNL and BSNL. In fact, and this was areas, 5 different areas across the national capital that this pertained to. The walled city areas of north and central districts of the capital. Mandi House as well in the capital. We also had Selampur, Jafrabad and Mustafabad. Now remember, Selampur and Jafrabad were locations where we'd seen protests break out in the last few days. In fact, in some cases, those protests had gotten violent. Also, another locations where the services were suspended is Jamia Nagar and Shaheen Bagh. Again, a location where we've seen similar sorts of protests, and Bhavana as well in the outer part of the national capital. So these are the different locations that have been put out, and one has to point out the fact that the Delhi police taking this step as as the people were beginning to gather. We saw huge amounts of people beginning to gather from various different groups, some politically aligned, others who were just purely activists who were not necessarily there to represent a political party, all turn up. That being said, we saw a lot of politicians as well detained in the national capital. So to try and sort of reduce the number of people perhaps coming there, aside from the metro station gates that were also closed a little earlier, the Delhi police also taking the decision to ask these networks to suspend their services, which is why even my colleagues on the ground, our colleagues in fact, have had trouble reaching us and us reaching them as well. Networks are not necessarily stable. The Delhi police circular says that it should be restored at 1 p.m. but we're yet to see the full restoration of that actually take place in the national capital.
Absolutely. So we're still not clear whether the cellular services have been restored right now, because as per the circular, as you're reading out for us, Viren, it says that this it will be blocked till 1 p.m. So we still don't know, or we don't have the clarity of whether it has been restored. Viren, many thanks for joining us and bringing us those updates. This is, of course, latest updates coming in at this point as cellular services in the national capital. These are several of the areas in the national capital where the services have been blocked owing to the kind of protests that are taking place.